Reviews and hype ramps up on the war between the land and the sea. We take a close look at what has been said by the Radio Times, RTD, Pete McTighe, and there are some really surprising bits of information that you may not have realised at all. It takes me to question some of the motivations and strategies of this era of producers, I have to say. And yes, on this exciting 4th of December, we know that news of the release, and yes, I've got it here, and yes, I've got John Yulden on, and yes, we'll be talking about it at 5 p.m. tonight, live again. Yep, I was tempted to do it. I delayed for half an hour while I got it ready, but basically we'll be talking about that at tea time, so don't you worry about that. In the meantime, first things first, we've got fish food, seafood fins, plastic to talk about. And I tell you what, it's so interesting what some of these producers and writers have been talking about. So, of course, yes, we're talking about that, the war between the land and the sea. I know a lot of you are kind of not too warmed to it. I'm actually warming to the Sea Devil design, the mask bit, that bit. I will say more later. I've got to be honest, but yes, co-written by Pete McTighe. Pete McTighe has got his fingers and fins in lots of pies at the moment, and I will have my crew on Friday talking about Pete McTighe and whether he's going to be the new showrunner and whether that's a good or bad sign, because he wrote the Destination Dalek Season 21 Blu-ray collection trailer that you saw today or are about to see today. He's also co-written this. I think he's just lined up quite nicely, don't you think? Seems to be how it's working. So that seems to be where we are. But he said interesting things. Russell T Davies said interesting things. Let's start you off. I'll start off with something gentle. So Russell T Davies yesterday on BBC Morning Live, yeah, I've got to check out this crud, said working with Pete McTighe, dream teamwork. Now, you know that RTD is renowned, and I've mentioned it many times and showed you the clip. He doesn't work with anyone who questions him. He's actually found somebody who can work with him, and I dare say just, does his bidding. Because for him to say dream teamwork, you start to go, is it dream teamwork like Barry Letts and Terence Dicks, like Robert Holmes and Philip Hinchcliffe? Is it? Or is it a little bit more Eric Sayward and John Nathan Turner? So, dream teamwork. Right, okay. Now, some interesting things are coming in a moment. I am warming you up, like I said. Give us a minute. On the collaboration. So, Russell Davies working with Pete McTighe. He shared his draft of episode 1 post Lucky Day, leading to McTighe handling episodes 2 and 3 and a joint episode 4. And RTD thinks it's thrilling to craft with someone who works very well with him. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, duh. Go figure. No shit, Sherlock. I mean, if you can, who enjoys working with people that you don't work well with? I mean, hello, God, I mean, they talk such empty rhetoric, don't they? But he does say that working with Pete McTighe means it's shifted to a more diplomatic, heavy, adult-orientated narrative over Doctor Who's action. So I will keep asking, is Pete McTighe going to be an interesting fit if he does become the showrunner? Because you've got to be prepared for it. And of course, in that case, he's the adult in the room. So yeah, so yes, so far so good on the collaboration front. And like I said, my detox panel, all right, got them involved. We discuss this tomorrow. So tonight at 5 o'clock, you'll see me and John Yulden, Sci-Fi Chronicles 79, discussing the exciting Season 21 Blu-ray release. I'm sure you've all ordered that already. And the Detox crew tomorrow are talking about, is Doctor Who safe in Pete McTighe's hands? I think that's going to be a question we will ask all weekend and for the next couple of weeks when we watch and see the unravelling of the war between the land and the sea. So tune in on that one, tasty one there. So let's get into it, because the Radio Times, which is normally a safe pair of hands, I have to say, it gives a refreshingly honest appraisal on what they had seen. And at this point, they had seen episodes 1 and 2. So they give it 4 stars out of 5, but they do leave some strong warnings. And so I will point those out as we go. Let's get into it because I've promised it. So, in the Radio Times review, Louise Griffin, on December the 4th, I'm on them. Oh. It is described as a make or break moment for Doctor Who, a sink or swim scenario. She concludes it could turn the tide by delivering a compelling standalone story. Now, I've got a lot of surprising facts to show you in a moment, so I bear with me. But on this point, what do you think? Make or break, sink or swim? I thought, God, call me a thicko. I thought the specials, and I thought the Church and Ruby Road, and maybe Space Babies was the make or break moment for Doctor Who. The sink or swim moment for Doctor Who. The moment when the tide could be turned. Am I missing something? I thought Russell T Davies was coming back because it was a make or break moment. And that was in November 2023. So have I missed 2 years or something? That suddenly that's now. That Radio Times is saying maybe this spin-off can make or break Doctor Who or help it survive. Now, hold on a minute. The spin-off can't save the main show if the spin-off apparently doesn't have the Doctor in it, doesn't really make many references, just a few little subtle Easter eggs if we pause. I mean, honestly, I'm not that desperate. The other thing is, the Radio Times, like many of the media who wouldn't say boo to a goose for a few years with RTD's Doctor Who, are suddenly starting to say, this is a make or break moment. This is the chance to save the show. Save the show from what? I thought you all thought it was great. So it's fascinating, isn't it? How suddenly, for years, they'll say to Shooty, oh, there's people criticising your Doctor. There's people doing this and, the slag us all off. And now suddenly, we find that they have agreed with us all along. Fascinating, isn't it? Let me take a chill pill before I show you any more, because I tell you what, that quotation there tells you so much, doesn't it? Waffle, something written wrong at the beginning. Had to find this manually. The original is 15 seconds long. Yeah, some would say that's too long for me. So yes, everybody, for some reason, Restream decided to be an awkward devil, and I was sat there staring at the wall, and I thought, if people are staring at this, I'll tell you what. I mean, Anyway, yes, we're here. Anthony Parkinson, normies will neither know nor care that it's related to Doctor Who. They'll just be befuddled it's on BBC One in the evening. In a double bill. May I say? What is the point? Please, everybody, I'm asking a simple question. If you make a 5-part series, I thought that meant they might do a kind of Monday, Tuesday to Friday TV event. That's what I thought they were gearing up for. Have they lost the bottle? Suddenly they've decided to do episode 1 and 2 together, so you might as well have just made a very long episode. Episode 3 and 4 together, so you might as well have made a very long episode. What's all that about? So, Stephen Bello, I have no interest in any of the non-Doctor Who shows. Right, well, we'll try our best with this one. Will be watching it. As Jen Sable says, how many final rolls of the dice can we have? Well, yeah, I thought season 1 and 2 were meant to do that. Anyway, it's a sink or swim moment. Have a look at this. She then moves on, and as she says that, Russell Davies on a different programme yesterday said that there's so much potential, and you'll see it from the War Between the Land and the Sea, and that it shows and it demonstrates the Doctor Who universe's punch position this as a grown-up drama. Again, can I please ask a very simple question? I know I'm not allowed in the same room as RTD. They'd have me, in some sort of Hannibal Lecter mask or something. They'd be really worried about how it would kick off if I'm in the same room with RTD. Certainly don't let Brendan ask a question. But I would honestly say, wasn't Doctor Who supposed to be that? Isn't Doctor Who big enough to punch for itself? We don't need a spin-off to say This is how Doctor Who could be when it's the same showrunner. Surely the same showrunner should have made Doctor Who like this, and then we didn't need this. I tell you what, is this? Am I missing something? But this is what's fascinating, and this is the shock. It's a shock to me. This is what Russell Davies said, and showrunner Russell T Davies has been honest about the fact that this spin-off was a big reason why he wanted to return to Doctor Who in the first place. Well, not Doctor Who. And it shows. Already in the first 2 episodes, the writing is much sharper than in recent seasons of Doctor Who. There are still some clumsy moments, but on the whole, it's emotive, funny, and gives the actors, especially Tovey, something to work with. Rewind. Go to the top bit there. RTD said the spin-off was a very big reason why he came back. Not because he had loads of ideas for Doctor Who, and that was quite clear he didn't. And when we do look at the Sea Devil design, and we make a decision about whether we can go with it or not, it does look it's trying to be a bit darker and a bit more adult. And therefore I say, why didn't he focus on Doctor Who and do it with that? And no need for this, and we could have had 2 longer seasons of Doctor Who as well. That really, really concerns me. I just think, where's the strategy? Where's the thinking? Where's the logic? Where's the tactics? And where's the cleverness? You are the showrunner for Doctor Who. You are brought back for the Who-niverse. And he's more bothered about expanding the universe than actually making sure that the Who bit of the Who-niverse is safe and secure. As Anthony Parkinson says here, how's an unlinked mini-series a year apart from a one-off episode going to help the main show when the tone of both are entirely different? Anthony Parkinson, because they're desperate. So, there's the first shock, but there's more evidence that came out of Pete McTighe's mouth. So showrunner RTD says he came back because of the spin-off. Disney offers you money. The BBC are biting your hand off. And, you know, it looks as though you've got a possible 26 episodes of Doctor Who you could make on an expensive budget, and you decide 5 of them need to be splundered on something else, and that excites you more than anything else. Something tells me, yet again, that I was right when I said he really isn't excited anymore by Doctor Who. He's bored with Doctor Who, and he wants copyright and he wants ownership of new things. He's just riding on the coattails of Doctor Who, like many have in the past. And it is really, really disappointing. Now, I'm getting charged up, so chill pill, Brendan, chill pill. Yes, we'll make a decision. I'm going to ask you all about this Sea Devil thing because it's caught me out a little bit. So there you go. Now, is there anything to back this up? Look what Pete McTighe said on the Whoniverse show. So Russell had written this spin-off outline before the Star Beast. He'd actually written it before any Doctor Who. Now, I think this calls into question so many things, and it calls them into serious challenge. The Doctor Who showrunner, who knows that the Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker era, for good or bad, had not landed well. And the BBC, your bosses, who are showing a checkbook, which is the British taxpayer, and then some Disney checkbook, says, can you save it? Oh, yes, darling, I can save it. And he then gets on, first thing he does when he sits down with his typewriter, is he starts writing a spin-off. Now, this is from the horse's mouth, Pete McTighe, and it's also from the mouth of RTD. Both of them are very open about it. They obviously feel very safe about this. They're more interested in in the war between the land and the sea. They're more excited by it. And they prioritised it. Well, sorry, RTD prioritised it. So just get that. Let that sink in. This was said on the Whoniverse show. It's just out there. So Russell had written the spin-off outline before he wrote the Star Beast. And as you know, the Star Beast was somebody else's story. Wild Blue Yonder was the Wild Blue Chasm with no story. And then the Giggle was kind of, let's kind of scramble and put it all together and have a silly bi-generation and Sledgehammer. Suddenly you realise RTD didn't come back with any ideas, but he was very excited about coming back and kind of squatting on Doctor Who like Sutekh on the TARDIS. Do you know what? RTD's writing is a psychology experiment. Everything he does is literally how he projects himself. So he is Sutekh sitting on the TARDIS, owning it, not wanting to do anything with it. Did he do anything for 50 years with the TARDIS? Apparently he fell asleep. I mean, what a load of crud. RTD wants to sit on the Doctor Who franchise and fire off Whoniverse missiles, which he will own. And sorry, the evidence is all on your screen now. Can anyone challenge that? Is there any other logic to that? The Doctor Who showrunner, the Doctor Who saviour, first thing he did is write some non-Doctor Who. But to help him, he brought the Sea Devils back, but he also wanted to change them. I have to say, we've accused him of vandalism. We've accused him of some things. We've accused him of being disrespectful of classic Who. And people say, shut up, who are you? Evidence. Evidence. Case study. What do these people want? It's right in front of us. Absolutely shocked. When I heard this, I thought, which Doctor Who fan in our thread now goes, right, if I was in charge of Doctor Who, I'd immediately write a spin-off? Who? Somebody who's bored with Doctor Who. Somebody who's got no ideas. That's who. But it's none of us. I'm really shocked at this. Really shocked. So I wanted to share that with you because I tell you what, I said that there'd be a surprise, and by God, you look at that logic. Go figure. Look at the mess we're in now. Farsight, coming at this from the position of a Doctor Who fan, the Sea Devils raison d'etre is all wrong. They wouldn't care about negotiating or the pollution. They would want their world back. And that's what they said in 1972, really, isn't it? They just want their world back. Matthew McGee, sorry. Good to see you. You have a feeling it'll sink like the Titanic. Do you know, I've got that little kind of Doctor Who fan heart where I'm hoping it'll be all right. But then if they can't win, by the way. If it is all right, I'll be furious that they didn't do it with Doctor Who. And if it's rubbish, then I'll be going, well, why have we allowed this man to do so many episodes? Jen Sable, for all this hype, it sounds like it's just going to be warming up Doctor Who and the Saloonies again. Ambitious and exciting, yeah, whatever. So yes, sorry, that was hot news and a real hot take. So there you go on that one. And if Pete McTighe might be the new showrunner, listen to his language. Genius RTD. It's his idea. He created the spin-off. I just delivered my first draft of Lucky Day. I had a message which said, we love the script, we're sending you something else. Can you have a look at it? And then they got talking. Oh, no interviews, of course, no interviews. Don't do interviews with the public service. And then, I'm not going to read all that now. The detoxers have a real good go at that tomorrow. But in the Whoniverse show, Pete McTighe then said that they're very excited by focusing on the companions. They're very excited at focusing on when the Doctor's not there. They're very excited by non-Doctor Who. Can we just call it out? Join the dots today. He wrote the spin-off before he wrote Star Beast, which was somebody else's idea. They all get excited about non-Doctor episodes, non-Doctor spin-offs. But they're riding on the coattails of UNIT. They're riding on the coattails of Sea Devils and Malcolm Hulke and other people. Oh, I tell you what. Tell me in what way he is not Sutekh sitting on the TARDIS. Tell me how he is not the celestial toy maker playing with somebody else's toys. Just tell me. And we go on, sorry. Chill, chill, chill. Now, Garbage Who, as you know, we love his. I can't speak today. We love his AI, and he has been teaching me. And you can all judge whether he's been teaching me well. Chill pill. It's all about the Sea Devils today. They don't like it up, do they? Yeah. So that's. I thought that was nice. I think I call it irony, which is plastic defeats the new Sea Devil. Right, there you go. Anyway, Louise Griffin continued in the actual Radio Times review. The Whoniverse spin-off should tempt even those disillusioned with Doctor Who. So all you lot in the thread, and me, we may be brought back. So, yeah, well, listen, I know because I talk to my thread and I know for a fact a lot of them aren't going to watch. So, how the hell do you make somebody watch when they are actually not watching? That is going to be a hell of a task. Anyway, she says the Whoniverse spin off should tempt even those disillusioned with Doctor Who. It's positioned as a grown up drama, it's enormously entertaining, it's got a blend of epic scope, scares, toughness, and romance. Take your pick. It sounds like a soap opera with a heavy budget. Thank you, Disney. Continue. RTD, of course, our great showrunner. He said, number one, he said about the 1972 Sea Devils. Oh, that one. It's the one with the monsters coming out of the sea. An absolute classic. Yes, it is. Hands off. We did our review yesterday. Believe it or not, my favourite show, and I give it a good because I was trying to, yeah, whatever. So, yes, it's an absolute classic. So I'm going to obviously spoil it. And then what he says about the war between the land and the sea is the 2025 version of that story. It's enormously entertaining, epic and scary and tough and romantic, and viewers will be gobsmacked. I think I was gobsmacked after Space Babies. I think I was gobsmacked after that double bill and Devil's Cord. I think I was gobsmacked when I looked at a whole episode called Wild Blue Yonder and I thought there's nothing in it. I mean, I've been gobsmacked for a while. I don't need another episode to do that. But I suppose he means in a good way. Yeah, dear me, dear me. Stephen Enge, at the risk of being chased away with pitchforks, I think it needs to be rested for at least 5 years and come back refreshed with new ideas. Steve, I think you're talking a lot of sense. I think you can't just keep repeating things season after season after season. I think you have to let the crowd disappear. But I think Pete McTighe, I have to say, and we will discuss it tomorrow, is in prime position for people at the BBC to go, oh yeah, you do everything now. You do the trailers for season 21. You write some episodes. You've just done the spin-off. It was as successful as Doctor Who. So you're as good as RTD. Oh, you watch. You watch. Shall we put money on it? I think I need to put a bet on that. Tall Paul. I wonder if he changed the name of Sea Devil so he could own the copyright. Paul. Yes, 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 and yes. Don't you think? Oh, I do. Oh, I do. When they become toys. Yeah, I get it. So there you go. That's the hype. Back to the Radio Times review. Louise Griffin says this about the modern update to classic lore. The series expands on the Sea Devils' 1972 story, evolving the monsters into more mythical, godlike beings. We're playing again. All these people who don't believe in God and aren't religious, don't they obsess about gods in Doctor Who? Stephen Moffat's the same. My God, they really like to attack religion, but then they want to make their own religion within Doctor Who. So this brings something special for Doctor Who fans and new viewers alike, with thoughtful Easter eggs that tie into the broader Whoniverse. Now, the bit that gets me is the Sea Devil remake, the Sea Devil revision and redesign. They have made them into more mythical, godlike beings. I've just enjoyed 6 episodes of the 1972 Sea Devils, and they were nimble warriors. They I mean, I'm sorry that they don't ask questions. They shoot. They are peed off. They attack in little kind of squads. What? What? Godlike? What's all that? Draconians had that lovely kind of aristocratic feel, and I thought the Chief Sea Devil almost started to carry that off, although he had another curtain drape on, of course. But I'm not too sure about this at all. And this is when I ask you all, well, what you see, does it help? Can you live with it? I know in Doctor Who we've seen Daleks change, we've seen Cybermen change, so, you know, Sontarans change into blue Smurfs that just need to be on a diet. You know, can we live with this? So take a look at some of this. Now, first of all, this is the logic. Oh, can you imagine being a Doctor Who fan here? Pete McTighe says the Sea Devils have had a little bit of a makeover. What is it like being part of the redesign? He was asked by, I think it was the drag queen. Oh, it's great fun to be able to sit in meetings and talk about Sea Devils for 3 hours. It's the best. The redesign was done by Paint in Practice, a digital art company owned by Bad Wolf. It's all in-house nowadays. BBC, what have you done? Then, with the original design, we wanted to keep Russell was particular about wanting to keep the fins and the beak, because they're the kind of iconic factors of that monster. So there were the things we kept, the beak and the fins. So everybody, that's the logic. They're godlike and they're mythical, and this is obviously what they'll look like. Now, all I've done is put C behind them. That's all. I've taken their photograph. I will be honest. It's all I can do. If that was a creature in Doctor Who, not called a Sea Devil, I'd be impressed. I'd be really pleased. And my other question to everybody is, if you saw that monster in Doctor Who in Season 1 and Season 2 of Shooty's Seasons, it's already the best monster. What was he up against? We hardly had any monsters. We hardly had a real intimidating, monstrous creature. And he saves it for the spin-off. Again, I ask you about our showrunner's strategy. Again, I ask you about what the hell is the BBC up to? You had Disney money. You were sat there. All you had to do was deliver. And you've made us wait from November 2023. I would argue, off the top of my head, that the best thing I saw in Doctor Who over the last 2 years as a design was that little kind of Jimbo in Wild Blue Yonder. I absolutely adored that little robot. And I thought that looked cute. But where were the monsters? The real monsters that would have got kids going, wow, Doctor Who's fab. That looks great. Our problem is, please don't make it a Sea Devil. It's unnecessary. Make it a new reptilian creature under the water. That's the issue. But that's what it looks like. That's what they used to look like. Go figure. I mean, they are just different, aren't they? Completely different. Evolved. My God, they've had a hell of a bloody transplant. I'd ask them for my money back. Basically, obviously it's as if they were a dying species of Sea Devils, and so they've obviously had a transplant from a Smurf. And then, yeah, look at them there. The beak and the fins. As a creature, if you didn't call it a Sea Devil, I like that for Doctor Who. That looks all right, I think. Look at that. This looks fine to me. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And then look at them en masse. There they all are en masse. Now, obviously, with my AI, those ducks were chasing them away. Oh, the Sea Devils don't like it. Here we go again. Yeah, got them back. I like these little ducks. They get their own way. Plastic wins again. I'm sure that's not the message. Oh dear, dear, controversial. So there you go. But what the Radio Times also says, and remember they only saw episodes 1 and 2, is because they haven't seen 3/5 of the spin-off. She's very clear. She said anything could happen, and she's very aware of this, as we all are. There's no hint of resolution yet. There's no clues, which might test the patience for viewers craving immediate TARDIS-style thrills. Russell T Davies is known for a good setup but poor resolution. For every good stolen Earth, you have, what is it, The Journey's End. Richard Burrows, I know you like the original Sea Devils. I do. I don't mind these as a separate creature. I just don't know why it was necessary to make them the Sea Devils. That's why I think they changed the name, I think. I really do. So, she has warnings there. And of course, Russell T Davies, talking in the Doctor Who magazine, said he positions the series as a complete story, the 5 parts, that absolutely ends, but stay tuned for the very end, keep watching. That's the credits. I mean, we'll have watched nearly 5 hours, and then it's like, wait till the credits. I tell you what, you better not bring the master back. You know, like in the credits there, something happens, because you know how RTD's psychology works. He is the toy maker. He is Sutek on the TARDIS. And if he does like any classic like Pyramids of Mars, you know how he likes to doctor it. And I think it's possible that if you really truly think about the 1972 Sea Devils story, which he thinks is brilliant, as do I, some would argue it's also a master story. And I'm wondering if he's going to bring the master back. We've heard the rumours, and I dismissed them for ages, but now I'm thinking, it's too bloody obvious, Brendan. It's too obvious. Now, obviously, that Sea Devil is really peed off with those little plastic ducks. So he's back again. I think he's going to get them this time. I think I can feel his fury from here. Oops. Oh, God. Well, the English channel's quite busy nowadays. He was in the wrong place. We're going to come and get you. No, you're not. It's blooming traffic jam central. I tell you what, we need, I don't know if we need border control in the English channel. We need air traffic control. So, honestly, I loved that. That was really nice. One more time. Yeah. Oops, there you go. So, Garbage Who, you can give me results from your jury, having taught me. Radio Times Review continues with the environmental themes. Now, remember, we're worried about messaging and storyline, and can it be more subtle? She says, this miniseries allows for a deeper exploration of the climate crisis, polluted oceans, corporate greed. The impact could be far greater and modern parable that is politically engaged but not preachy. Now, I would almost start to do that if it's not preachy, right? There is a message out there you could have. It was only a few years ago when I was still teaching, and we had to do some lessons on the plastic island in the Pacific, where all the plastic bottles and everything, have all coalesced, and it's hard to believe there's an island you can see from satellite. That's a bit gross. But obviously he's laying into water companies, because the British water companies, we know them well. They've got RTD so angry that he's going to do a world story about corporate greed, when actually he's really just going on about British water companies. He's quite parochial, but he's making it bigger. So I know, Wobbs, it'll be preachy. I know. They're saying it's not preachy. They may have learnt a little bit and pulled it back a little bit. But the message sounds too much to me. Climate crisis, polluted oceans, corporate greed. It just sounds like a hit list, the usual hit list. It's like, oh, okay, bit too much at once. One of those I could cope with, not everything altogether. And the message from RTD's voice is this. It's only politically engaged because it has no choice to be. Yeah, as soon as it's an RTD typewriter, it has no choice. If I'm writing about the... Right, before I read this out, everybody, remember he always says, because I'm gay and I live in Canal Street, I can only write about my experiences. Yeah? I can only write about my world. Listen to this. If I'm writing about the oceans in 2025, then they really are filthy and stinking and half destroyed. I would be lying if I didn't mention these things. I'm not on a high horse, as water companies, profiteering bosses laugh in our faces. He said this. He said this. He said it yesterday. You can find it on BBC iPlayer. I can't help being politically engaged. It's just me. I'm a saviour. I'm trying to save the planet. Oh, he's desperate. I tell you what, he doesn't want a BAFTA. He wants an Oscar. He wants that moment in Hollywood when he does one of those 30-minute rants and everybody goes, get us another drink. Jeremy, it's time I got you back on, and I'm sure you'll come back on to talk about the Sea Devils Omnibus or something. At 5 hours, it'll be too long to watch. Dalek Master Plan. I know what you mean. Robert Payne. Apparently, when asked about the inspiration, RTD said living in Swansea by the sea was one of them. God, it must be a shithole. Why would you do? He didn't mention the creatures were from the 70s. Or yes. What? It sounds wrong, that, Robert, doesn't it? I was inspired by Swansea to write about filthy, stinking, half-destroyed oceans. Right, okay, that's scrubbed off my list. Right. Right. What the show is about at its core is the fact that, as a species, this is Pete McTighe, we've been ruining the oceans and the rivers and the climate. Are these twins? Is this Tweedledum and Tweedledee? Are they breeding at Bad Wolf? Oh my God, don't say they're cloning. Oh my God. That studio with the TARDIS in the corner and everyone thought was empty and was selling the space and advertising it. It's a cloning centre. And they're cloning RTD little, Teletubbies. RTD Teletubbies. Little Pete McTighes. They all talk the same. RTD's just said all this. We've been ruining the oceans and the rivers and the climate, and this show poses questions about that. And you're allowed to ask questions. If I ask a question of RTD, I'm going to be taken away with a hook. And that's kind of the exciting incident for the show, really. And then thousands of angry monsters turn up, which is always a good thing. If you go back to the 1972 Sea Devils, Pete McTighe, in the first seconds, you get the monsters, you get the reptilian hand, and you get Mayday, 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 and you're gripped. Not we have all the rivers and and we have a romance in the corner and all the rest of it. But yes. So, am I warming you up yet, everybody? What does the Radio Times say about the performances, though? Russell Tovey's Everyman Barclay as a relatable anchor. I can't say that name. I could say Google, whatever. Her version of Salt and Gemma Redgrave's Kate Stewart get standout nods. The visuals, underwater sequences, creature designs are gobsmacking. Oh, that work's doing heavy duty today, isn't it? And the writing shines in its balance of tension and humanity. I would argue, can we have less humanity and just more tension? Just, how much humanity did Eric Saywood shows? Dead, laser, less humanity, more death, more tension, more jeopardy, more fun. It's called escapism. Yes, a scary oil rig, as Richard Brown is saying. Right. So that sounds good. So who's this Barclay? Well, it doesn't sound like a normal... He's supposed to be an everyman. Mind you, this is quite funny, this. First of all, you've got Russell Tovey saying, and I still like him, I admire his bravery when he comes to storytelling and the way he speaks about the world. He doesn't shy away from the dark realities of what we're all living through. This is obviously Russell T Davies. As I said, they're cloning at Bad Wolf at the moment. Regarding the Barclay character, a human resources administrative error plucks Barclay from his humdrum life, plonks him on a remote island in Scotland and brings him face to face with the Sea Devils. Right, can everybody just pull back 1 second? Because they're doing repeat plots here. Can everybody... I know your counselling has hopefully been working and been very expensive, but when you did watch that Once Robot Revolution of season 2, it was an administrative error, wasn't there? Where her boyfriend made her renamed a star after her, and some race decided they were going to remember, and now it's the same. Oh dear God, isn't it naff? Absolutely naff. Anyway, let's look at it. This is Pete McTighe talking. Barclay isn't everyman really. He's just an ordinary bloke. Oh, here we go. So he's a bit like Rose Noble doing the shoplifting in Catford. He's just like... We never got Nellie, who was doing the cleaning. I'm going to do her in AI. The unit cleaner. She's like the Hong Kong Fooey, the janitor, the mild-mannered janitor who actually sorts everything out. Do you know what? Am I stumbling on something? I really do feel as though they make our Doctor Who now. Everybody has to be 19 and ordinary, but deep down there, the Hong Kong Fooey of everything. Honestly. So anyway, he's not on the front line at unit. Well, if you're on the front line, you're getting shagged by Kate Stewart, so it's probably safer. He works in an office. He's not on the top of Unit Tower with Kate. He's on floor 6 doing booking in transport and doing office things. God, did you realise Unit had such a rubbish floor? He has an ex-wife, toxic, masculine, and a teenage child. Oh, let me guess. Is it going to be they're in danger from a Homer Aqua Sea Devil? And oh yeah. Anyway, but then one day he's dragged forcibly into this extraordinary event that happens, and his life changes forever. And he goes on the most incredible journey, the most extreme journey, where we meet him in episode 1 to where we leave him at the end. It's an incredible character journey for him. Oh, and he's an ordinary man. He's just like Donna Noble. Oh no, he's just like Rose Tyler. Oh no, he's just like Martha. Oh no, he's just like Hong Kong Fooey. Oh no, I've seen this all before. But they're all clever writers. I could never do this. This is so good. There you go. Are they going to get it on? Are they going to get it on? Is that really a question, Brendan? Take a chill pill. Yes, Garbage still lives on and on and on. He's not going anywhere. I hope he isn't. There we go. So let's continue with my... It's not a diatribe. It's a cynical assessment of the situation. How could you date her? I'd be looking at her ears all the time. I'd think, could I hand the ironing on it? I don't know. There's something. Is she a Vulcan? I don't know. If you think that's sexy, the ears are such a... I'd say, can you have them clipped? Can you just... I don't know. She'd look gorgeous if they were floppy. I think if you did a Hong Kong Fooey makeover of her, she'd pull more. But there you go. Apparently, she's somebody's type. And as I said, isn't it a little bit concerning that people talk about, things that happened in the 70s, like in The Talons of Wen Chian, and how a white actor might play another race and how that's disgraceful. And it's not allowed nowadays. And then you hire a beautiful black actress and you're covering all that. Blueface. It's disgusting. So... But she's called Salt. She's a salt of the earth. A lot of people have started to say, that crappy episode, Wild Blue Yonder. At the end, he put the salt down, didn't he? And nothing ever got sorted out. And suddenly, remember, this was written, started, outlined before Starbeast. Salt is a proud, noble representative of the world under the ocean and its world, says Pete McTighe. She is Homo amphibia. So she is a race of creatures that live under the sea that are closely related to Homo aqua. They're all homos. They're all homos down there, who are the traditional sea devils, but she is slightly different species. It's destroying the homo bit. Homo is supposed to be the same. Same aqua, same amphibia. They're not all the same. Oh, dear. So there we go. I was trying to get you to be half interested. I don't think it's going to work. TARDIS, good to see you again. I think it's offensive that we have to humanise past creatures from the show's history. Well, I am going to be fascinated if they mess with gender, because the Sea Devils revealed nothing. I mean, and neither did I as a 3-year-old want to know if the Sea Devil had a Todger or whatever. I didn't know. The Silurians and now the Sea Devils had evolved from different species, so they looked like a lizard, a turtle. And Michael Bryant, I had the quote where he talked about that. Yeah, the salt reference might come to play. Yes, the word homo has been thrown around a lot in this. Well, thank God it's not the word queer. You know, we're getting sick of that because we know queer. I don't know what it means anymore. I will remind you, I'm a gay man, but I'm confused by half these references now. I tell you what, I think maybe he's trying to empty Canal Street and everybody's got to go underwater. This is where all the homos go in the future. There'll be a Mardi Gras episode there. I don't understand. So Russell Davies in the Doctor Who magazine said he's using the spin-off. Oh, as if there's a master plan. There hasn't been. You just want a bit of that. Uses the spin-off to showcase the franchise's potential. Oh, here we go. He's pretending he's going for interview. I'm using the spin-off that comes right at the end of a long 2 years of Ncuti Gatwa to showcase the franchise's potential to the BBC. Oh, God. The BBC are looking the other way, calling it a very 2025 in its bones. Now, a lot of you in the thread, I can't speak for you quite, but I'll speak for me definite. When anybody says this TV production's very 2025, I'm going, could we have skipped it? Can we wait till it's decluttered from all the 2025 issues? If you say it's very 25, I'll end up saying it's very dated, it's very parochial, it's very of its time, it's very tired. He also says about the spin-off everybody, this could influence upcoming Doctor Who elements like the 2026 Christmas special. In other words, something is referred to. Something happens. He talks about keep watching the credits after episode 5. They also talk about there's a special piece of music that everybody should listen for in episode 5 that will obviously resonate. The master signature tune, a touch to the radiophonic workshop, something that influences, remember, RTD, whether he's leaving or staying, he is going to be like the great toy maker. It's his domain, and everything has to look like his regeneration juice. Everything has to look right. Yeah. That's what the species looks like, those homos. Homo amphibia. There's 2 homos straight away. Look at them. I don't know. It's just the ears. I think I know I've never fancied a fish. I don't know about you. I mean, did you go through a phase you wanted to date Nemo? I'm not quite sure. I never did. I never had a fish phase. So this doesn't do it for me. Mind you, oh my God, this doesn't do it for me either. This sends me in kind of, in fact, the fear factor is high on it. Padwan, the fear factor is higher on this one.
Mayday, Mayday, it's engineering ship. Our position is...
Sea devil!
Obeying orders.
You will obey my order, Chief Petty Officer.
You will obey me.
I must obey.
Don't be alarmed. I've no wish to harm you.
Yeah, that's that's what that does that to me. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's the other characters, but Kate does have a journey to go on, we're told by Pete McTighe and crew. For every time it looks spectacular and you think, wow. I mean, if you really study that picture there on the right, you can see the sea devils and other marine creatures all hanging down as if they've been caught in a net or captured or tortured by humans because we are now evil. Remember, Malcolm Hulke was so good at nuance, like a lot of the TV writers of the time. They didn't just say that person is pure evil and that is pure good. They give you the whole spectrum of, you know, possibilities. Now, of course, you know where we're going to go with this. We're the baddies again. Every human's a baddie who has allowed this to happen. And that is going to worry me because I hate that. So, Kate Stewart, I was showing you the picture there. I've got my order slightly naughty, but there you go. Kate Stewart and Colonel Ibrahim. Well, they're going to go on a journey. Look at this. Does this excite you? Yeah, as Tomboy Chick says, Kate goes on a journey. Is she waiting for a bus? She's waiting for him. She has an incredible journey in the war between. She goes through some crazy and devastating events, and Gemma is just phenomenal. She finds there's a drawer she can open. God, I mean, and then there's a little special additional musical treat at the end of episode 5. I mean, wow. So yes, you know, I've taken you through various little things there, but you can see, gosh, if we've got time in 5 episodes to have a Kate Stewart going on a journey, the journey's going to be with the fella. Either the fella dies, and so she goes on the journey of, oh my God, or as rumoured, she dies, in which case, I mean, she's been in a lot of Doctor Who, but she's been like Mrs. Flood. She just appears for a second. I can't... I'm nothing against Miss Redgrave. I just can't get into her character because she's not really done anything. And I don't mean she's had a snog after tea with Abraham. That has not been my obsession or fixation. That's just RTD when he's not gone out for a night and he just adds a line or two because he's kind of frustrated. No, I'm not after that at all. So... you know, to hear that she's going to go on some journey. Yeah, you see, Tomboy Chick, wasn't my language. I was just quoting. She goes on a journey. I tell you what, Gemma Redgrave's been on a hell of a journey. She's going, oh my God, you've given me more than a page of script. Oh my God, what happened here? It's a bit like Anita Dobson saying, oh, I can't wait for the finish. Oh, I can't wait for the end of season 2. RTD has promised me a great resolution, a great climax for my character. Excuse me? What? So, somebody else has got the job? I make the sandwiches. Brian? Me? Just in case. What? I thought I was the star. I thought this was leading to my moment. Hold on a minute. Archie Punjabi didn't go to a cold day in Wales and stand in an outfit for a few minutes while I stood outside a cinema looking like a spare part. Why? I've done all the hard yards. Why does she turn up and get all the glory? What? Oh, yeah, that's an incredible journey. So Gemma Redgrave is going, oh my God, you've given me more than a page of script. My God. So that's the incredible journey. She had to kind of panic attack and go, God, I'll have to start learning lines again. So that's another issue in itself. I mean, does that picture speak EastEnders, Coronation Street, Emmerdale, or does it say high budget sci-fi? That's my question. Yeah. So that is the sink or swim for Doctor Who, because there seem to be, the Radio Times is making the link. The more they protesteth, the more they say this is not Doctor Who. There's no links, but then they quietly say there's an Easter egg in it if you pause. And then they go, this is not Doctor Who. And then they go, but if you wait till after the credits of episode 5, there's something. And then this is not Doctor Who, but this will influence future Doctor Who. Go figure. Go figure. That is so logical, RTD. It sounds like one of your seasons structure all over the shop. Yeah, right. So that was my first installment, just to give you a little salivation before 5 p.m. today, live again. I'll change a shirt maybe. Season 21 Blu-ray release with Sci-Fi Chronicles 79 if you're getting sick of my voice. It goes very tunes after a while, doesn't it? It goes tunes. I start to feel a bit nasal. So season 21 Blu-ray release. That'll be a different type of conversation. You better have ordered it before 5 p.m. otherwise you're going to get extremely frustrated. So yes, that will be at 5 p.m. And tomorrow, I've said, we've got a show. Is Doctor Who safe in Pete McTighe's hands? You've heard a lot of him there. I've saved a lot more for tomorrow and a proper discussion with a panel of 4 detoxers. So there's a lot to come. So you've got to get your mid-afternoon tea. You've got to organise some stuff. You've got to organise ordering you know what. And then we'll meet again at 5 p.m. Yeah? And hopefully the technology allows me to start and not waste 15 seconds. Shall we make it a date? See ya. Bye for now.